Welcome to Myers Mods, ladies and gentlemen. So this is another episode of Blaster Chat. Today's episode is called Paid to Win. Okay? Now, there's several different blasters that I would consider a paid to win blaster. This, of course, would be one of them. This is the Saber Apex, okay? Another blaster I would consider to be paid to win would be this guy here. This is the Milsig M79. HPA foam dart blaster from Taiwan. Other one I would consider paid to win, and it's kind of iffy on this one, would be a fully modified Harrier like this guy. You know, this one's got all metal internals in it from Saber, stuff like that. So, but there's also other examples of paid to win blasters as well. One of the examples, and there's a couple flywheel blasters out there. I would say one of them would be the Spafford flywheel, the SPF for short. That blaster costs between $500 and $700 depending on where you get it. Okay, keep that price tag in mind. This one here is $500. The Milsig is $500. Once you put parts into that Harrier and max it out, you're talking like a $300 to a $350 blaster all day long. Okay. Now, as I was saying, the thing is, paid to win, okay? The blasters, like the ones I have, those are definitely paid to win blasters. The other ones are the SPF, like I said, the Momentum from Eli Wu, the Sweetheart Stormbreaker, and Diana pistol. Okay, I would consider those paid to win blasters as well. Okay, one, because of the performance of them and the price tag. A SPF $700, Momentum's like $500 or $600. A Diana's a $300 pistol. Sweetheart Stormbreaker's anywhere between $500 and $600. You know, just depending on where you buy it. You know, it is what it is. Now, what's going on is that, and I really don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I'm very sorry for saying it, but this hobby has basically become a rich man's hobby. Okay, and when I say that is if you want a truly overpowered blaster, you can just go buy one. Very little tuning involved, and bam, you've got a tank. You know, that's what this guy is more than anything else. You know, it does almost 400, which is pretty great. You know, but that's with upgraded springs and stuff like that. So a little bit of modding here or there, or very light modding, as you would call it. You know, but like, for example, a friend of mine, Peter Parker in Australia, was talking to him the other day about this topic, paid to win, and people accuse him of being paid to win all the time because he has a Saber, like this one. Well, not this model, he has an M20. But they accuse him of being paid to win, you know, and it's a $500 blaster what he has. No, not a big deal, same as this one, you know, pretty much. But the people that are saying this are guys that are running around with Spafford flywheels and a Diana as their complete loadout. They're walking around with $1,000 loadouts, and they're saying that. Okay, and I understand people don't have cash or whatever, you know, and I get that, you know, but this is basically a rich man's hobby. I hate to tell you people that. Like through my demographics on YouTube, I'm able to see about people's approximate age and the percentage of viewerships that are at this age or that age. Okay, and it's a feature that gets unlocked for every content creator once they hit a certain point. You know, and judging from what I could see, a lot of the people in the community, they're in their 20s to mid 30s. Okay. And it's rather nice, you know, but people in that age, if they went to college, they're paying off their student loan debts, or at least they should be. Okay, because college ain't cheap, it's expensive. So they're paying off their debts, so they're not going to have much money. Or they're just starting out in a trade or whatever. And again, they're not going to have much money. You normally don't start making decent money until you hit about 40. That's just simple math right there. You know, sometimes it's worse than that. You know, it is what it is. But paid to win though means that people nowadays, unless if they want to play and actually be successful, well, they have this weird option of going out and just buying a blaster like this or like the Milsig or something like that. But what these dummies are not realizing is that the blaster is only part of it. I mean, you could have the best blaster in the world and still absolutely suck. I mean, if you don't have good ammo, you're gonna suck. If you can't hit the broadside of a barn, you definitely suck. And maybe you should rethink your life. But it is what it is. But that's paid to win. And I think a lot of people use that terminology. Yeah, when you got a paid to win blaster, blah, blah, blah. So that's the way I look at it. So I know I have a paid to win blaster. I'm glad I have a paid to win blaster. But the people that say this are the same people that also run around with $700 blasters too. So really, nobody at this point should be using the term paid to win. Even a base blaster like a stock Harrier, that's $180. A stock S100S, that's $200. The same thing with the current, that's another $200. And if those blasters had all metal parts, then I would consider them paid to win blasters too, because of the performance and the reliability and consistency. You see what I'm saying? But what it is that everybody's upset. A lot of the newer players who haven't invested the time or the resources into buying the proper blaster or whatever, they'll sit there and they'll yell at us guys and say, well, you guys are paying to win. Well, yeah, of course we are. What do you expect? And it's not because we want to be better than you. I mean, that certainly helps, but all of our guys in my group, they're all even. They're either going to start using sabers or they're using HPA or modified Harriers or something like that. That's the guys in my group. So we're all pretty even. We're all evenly matched against each other, which is like perfect. But now some of you guys are going to go to events and see that one guy that has that $1,200 loadout, or that two or three guys that got that $1,200 loadout. Don't jump on them just because they decide to spend money on their loadouts and stuff like that. Be nice to them. And I'll be honest with you, like if I went to an event and I was running this guy and another player came up to me and said, hey, can I try this? Here you go. And I throw it right at him. I'd let him try. That's exactly how it is, because I figure once you try a blaster like this or a blaster like the Milsig or even a highly tuned Harrier like mine, you'll probably go out and buy one, to be honest with you. And people say, well, I don't have the money right now. Like a Harrier, you could do that in stages. Seriously, you could go out and buy the Harrier, the upgraded barrel, and the upgraded spring now. Okay. And then down the road, you could order the catch, the mag release, the plunger rod and head, and priming slide to it from Saber if you wanted to. You could do it in steps. But some people, they just don't have it like that. And I get that, and I understand that. But at the rate this is going, with the average cost of a blaster being of a decent performing blaster, I don't care if it's 3D printed or whatever, is about $200 now. The days of it being, $50, $60 are gone. So really, in my opinion, there is no more such thing as a paid to win because we're all pretty evenly matched now. But like I said, there's no such thing as paid to win anymore. So people can whine and say that all they want, but really there is no advantage or disadvantage, It's just that some of us want better blasters than others, stronger blasters than others, like this guy or the Milsig or whatever, Like 90% of the people that end up getting this blaster from out of darts in the United States, I bet you they won't even use it to its full potential. This blaster has a way to do about 450 FPS. But most people in the United States still run their blaster right around 300, which is the stock sprung on this blaster. But that's a horse of another color. But in any event, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. the episode of Blaster Chat called Paid to Win. Until next time, this is Milers Mods signing off.